Okay, this is Baldur's Gate 3. A little bit of an introduction before we get straight into it. I recorded 2.5 hours of gameplay and the microphone didn't record, so everything here is dubbed over the top. It's not live commentary, it's done in post. I'll try and actually get it right next time. Another thing is, if you guys want to see this be a series, then it will be a series. Otherwise, this video will just be my first impressions of the early access release of the game. Again, the October 6th release date is not a full release date, which was a bit confusing. As you can see here in the information, it gives details about it and to expect loads of bugs. We're going to make a new profile, and that profile is basically our Baldur's Gate profile, and then we can have different characters and then join like other people's games and stuff. That's what it seems like anyway, which is nice. You're not stuck with just one character or anything per game copy basically. I noticed the game was running at 100 FPS, so I was like, what the hell's going on? It does not make sense for it to be running at 100 FPS. My monitor only goes up to 60 Hz, so I was like, okay, let's try and fix that. Simple as clicking that button. Just make sure you click the cap enabled button. You shouldn't have access to the slider if that button's not clicked, but fair enough. I left everything else as it was. Everything else seemed fine. And then we got straight into it. This is the intro cutscene for the game. I have to say, the rendering for the cinematics in this game is like top notch. I did not expect this amount of quality, but I'm glad to see it. I'd actually be happy to have like a Netflix show or something to this standard. I'd happily watch that. There's a little bit of spoilers, I guess, from here on out, so if you're not wanting to see spoilers, I suggest turning off, or maybe skip to the end where I give like a summary. But yeah, I'm gonna actually skip forwards, I think. This is story stuff that we can cover. It's not really helpful with the first impressions. So we're in character creation now, and I decided to make my D&D character. I pretty much main, and I'm playing at the moment. And this origin thing here, this seems like they're gonna add more options in for origin later. But origin is not your background. Origin is something else. So yeah, I start going through. My character's name is Ragnar, and then you've got like all of the basic background choices to choose from. I go for soldier because that's just what Ragnar's background is. There's no advanced ones. Okay, so we go on to the race options, and we can see there's not a wide variety of races at all. I go straight for human because that's Ragnar's race, and of course he gets his +1/+1 and everything because that's base human. But there is no human variant option, which I believe is, I want to say, Xanatar's Guide, but I could be wrong. And yeah, we literally just have like the elf races, dwarves, tieflings, halflings, and humans, and Githyanki. There's no other races. There's no other like official playable races, which is pretty disappointing. I would have liked to have seen much more variety in this. And here I just kind of skip through the races just to check the variants out. Like they've got 3 different races or sub-races of tiefling, but they don't have variant human, which is a bit odd. Yeah, and like different drow and dwarf. I mean, it's easier development-wise for them to include the races that are similar to each other, like the elf races, and then like the squat races like halfling and dwarf, and then they just literally have to change the skin. It doesn't really change a whole lot. Changing to like a goblin or something, oh, you're gonna have to add like extra voice lines, whatever. So I go over to appearance here, and there is only 4 voice options. Four. Two of them are male and two of them are female.
Something just woke up down here.
That's not options. That's literally. Do you want posh voice or do you want posh snobby voice? And are you playing male or female? That's literally it. That is not customization. And then the head choices, again, not that much customization there. It's like all preset stuff. Like there's no Fallout 4 level of like changing features and like a bone structure and anything like that. Which, sure, I understand, but I'd like to be able to actually have a little bit more control over what my character looks like to a certain extent. Like, sure, if you don't want to make your characters look absolutely stupid, then don't, give us some freedom, but don't give us all of it, But then they give us like all of the color skins, skin colors even. Like you can literally have a purple human for no reason, which I thought was just weird. You can do all like the eye colors, which is quite nice. You have like a demon eyeball dude or whatever. Perhaps your dude's a warlock and he's got a patron or whatever. And then we go into the hair, and there's like 30 odd different hairstyles. We have fucking Witcher Geralt right here. Yeah. I was pointing out here how that little bit of his hair's erect for some reason. Don't know why. Just the physics of it. It's bugged out. Okay, so I eventually decided on this haircut. Just seemed most fitting. And then we go on to the beards, and I just tried to pick one that kind of suits a Viking, I guess. But yeah, I decided to go for this one. It just seems most fitting. I go on to checking out the hair colours and stuff, trying to find the right blonde. And devs, if you're making a game, stop making blonde yellow. Blonde is not yellow, or yellow is not blonde. I don't care who the fuck you are, you do not have bright yellow fucking radioactive hair unless you've dyed it. I understand, like, sure, you've got like other unnatural colours in here too, but like, that's not blonde, it's yellow. And then we go on to tattoos, which are limited to the face and the neck. And a lot of them seem a bit like modern style, like that looks like a prison tattoo and I can't read it to save my life. If anyone can read that, let me know. And then we just go on to explore the others. They're the same for men and women. There's not really a whole lot. I decided to go without tattoo because none of them make sense. And then you've got makeup. The makeup is the same for men and women. There's not really a whole lot of choice. You have smoky eyes 1, smoky eyes 2, pointy smoky eyes 1, pointy smoky eyes 2, like it. And then I decided to go for this one, where he's like sort of crying or whatever. Don't know why I did that, but just went for it. And then we're gonna go for class, and this is where combat and like mechanics of the game start to differ from actual D&D, because there's no subclasses for fighter at all. If you pick fighter, you're a bog standard fighter from like 5 years ago, You don't get to be an arcane archer or a champion or anything like that. There's no freedom of choice. And this goes on to ranger as well, where it's like, okay, so you have different choices for ranger. So you have all these different like starting abilities and things that you can start with. But it's not correct. Rangers do not start with a Find Familiar spell. I don't know if that's 4th edition or something, but hello, we're in fucking 2020. 5th edition's been out for like years now. Like, where's the companion option? Like, it doesn't tell you like, oh, if you reach XYZ level, then you get this ability. Like, there's no level table or anything where it's like tells you what you can unlock later in the game. just tells you what you can start with, I'm pretty sure. You can't build to anything because it's like, oh, I just do this one basic thing. You don't have a clue where you're going to end up, which is just crap. Again, this is early access, so maybe there's more stuff going to be added. I really hope there is. With the skills, so you have a certain amount of skills that you can invest in depending on your class and background and stuff like that. So all these skills at the bottom are ones that I'm gonna miss out on, which is I think that's standard. But if you have a variant human, you can choose a proficiency or something, I think, and like add some extra stuff. Like in campaign, Ragnar right now is a variant human, and he has proficiency as well as like double proficiency bonus, which I think variant human gives you, the prodigy racial feat. He has double proficiency in perception, so he sees everything, which is the whole point of the character. And then we go into abilities, and I just start off by getting rid of everything and start from the bottom. And I'll go, okay, so he's better at his dex and his wisdom, so I make both of those 16. And then, well, he needs a certain amount of strength. I just remembered, there is no barbarian. There is no barbarian class. So, you can't multi-class into barbarian as far as I can tell. I don't know if strength helps you carry more armor, I didn't read that. But then I went for, so his charisma's quite low, can't go any lower than 9. Constitution, need a bit of that. And he's average intelligence, he's not smart boy. You do have the option there to use recommended if you want. Then this option that I found out is not on the bar at the top in the other screen, but this is where I decided. This is where I started to make Ragnar's canon soulmate, I guess, called Swan, and this is where I brought in Sophie to help make her character. Yeah, it was a bit of a laugh. I'm going to skip over that and then I'll show you the end result of the character.
Something just woke up down here.
Okay, so this is Swan, and we're about to get started. This cutscene here is a continuation of the first one. They literally are back to back from each other. If you watch the trailer, there's no cut. Well, I mean, there is a cut, but there's no break. I'm gonna skip forward through this one as well. We don't need to see this. If you guys want to watch the cutscene, it's on YouTube somewhere. Okay, so now we're actually getting into gameplay. Now we're actually loading our character into the world onto a map. And this is what we see. So your character's been in this pod, and now you're as free as you can be to do what you need or want to. I'm not quite sure why the mind flayers didn't take away all your equipment. They just left you with, you know, your sword and longbow or whatever in your pod. The camera took me a little bit of time to get used to, because you have to click and hold middle mouse to rotate the camera. Left click is to like move anywhere or interact with anything. I was trying to figure out how to interact with this pod. I said to jump to get higher to it, but it didn't work. You can also right click on some stuff that's interactable to like pick it up or use it or do something else. The jumping in this game is quite funny. You can jump like a superhero, you know. So I just tried to explore a little bit. I found some little pickups which are pretty cool. I've not seen these before, so I've not played Baldur's Gate before. Like I've not played this kind of setting or anything in D&D, so I've not seen these pickups. It's nice and refreshing to be like, oh, additional stuff for illicit based content and stuff like that. Quite nice. I was messing around with the direction, so you can click and hold the left click move, so you don't have to keep clicking, you can just click and hold. and I was trying to pronounce the name of this chest. Cartilaginous, I believe. And inside it contains what is basically like a little fire bomb, a little bit of fire damage, and then I think, yeah, grease, so you can stick people in a place or like give them disadvantage in a certain area or whatever. Yeah, so I just start looking around and exploring a little bit. I'm not going to show you everything that I do in this because it's like not all of it is exciting, and it's also stuff that you should probably explore for yourself. I accidentally walked through fire, and that's the thing. So there is no like there's no smart pathing in this game. So like, if you tell your character to go from A to B and there's fire on the floor in the way, they will go through it. So you have to be careful where you send your dude. You can like jump over fire, as you might see a bit later. And I made the rookie mistake of using that health potion when that blue tentacly thing there is a restoration point. Basically your Pokemon Center. So standard kind of RPG thing. I'm looting everyone and everything that I see, checking out all the different new items and stuff. I just got a health potion there for the one that I just used up, so quite happy about that. So this is where you'll see me actually use the jump function properly. And I'm figuring out the camera, so I'm like looking around to see around my character and see what they can see. And obviously I can see an item, and this is where I use the jump function to go from there to there. It's quite nice. And then I was like, oh, what's this blue thing? Oh, it's called restoration. What happens? So I click on it. Oh, it restores me. So yeah, don't use any health potions when you're around these things. They are free, basically like long rests or whatever, which is quite a nice mechanic. I quite like having something like that. I might add something like that to a campaign where it's like you don't have to take a long rest in order to feel rejuvenated. Because, you know, magic. At least to the point of HP, right? So if you're low on HP, you don't need to rest to restore it or whatever. Spell slots, I'm not sure if it affects spell slots because my character doesn't have any. Yeah, this is where I'm interacting with stuff, checking stuff out, looting some stuff. There's a bunch of dead imps all over the floor because we're in the Nine Hells, so they got messed up trying to attack the boat. Not boat, ship. I hear like a little child's voice or something. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that right now. So these things are buttons basically, just interactable buttons. I'm not sure if some of this stuff is going to be used in crafting later, so that's why I picked it up. You might be able to make those shells into like armor or a shield or something. I don't know, so that's why I picked them up. These tablets, they give you like little bits of lore.
History. Elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes. Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
Which I like. It's like when you're going in Skyrim and you find like a book, but this time it actually gives you voiceover for it, which is nice. Like I like to listen to my lore. I don't like having to read through an entire book. Nice when it just gives you like little snippets and plays into the whole like D&D imagination thing. There's these images enter your mind, stuff like that. It's not like someone's scrawled notes. And that's because we're in a illithid type place, right? They're very psionic based, which is nice. They've actually thought about that, obviously. I was getting creeped out with this, and I could tell what was going on. I was like, okay, so you're gonna be an intellect devourer or something. You're probably gonna try and hit me or like kidnap me or something. There's another chest there that I missed, I think. Yep. Yeah, so I was like, wait, a brain is wriggling?
Yes, you've
That
come
brain
to
is
save
not a
us
brain.
from this place.
That brain is an
From
intellect
this place,
devourer.
you'll free us.
So I was like,
The
getting
exposed
information from it
brain quivers in
for a
expectation.
bit.
Please. Before they return. They return. A newborn.
So I think,
Born new for
yeah,
this house.
my character realizes that I'm talking to an
You
intellect devourer.
realize you're talking to an intellect devourer,
And I'm like,
a minion of the mind
oh, no,
flayers.
I'm not helping you. You gotta die, bro. I'm sorry. You can't live. Nah, you can't live. So this... I'm sorry, whoever you were, but you're not a person anymore. So I think what happened was they put one of those worms inside this person, and then it evolved into an intellect devourer and took over their brain. So we're starting to explore the ship now. Use our jump ability to get around. It seems like everyone must have that same jump ability, and this is where we meet our first NPC in the game. She is really well designed.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles.
Oh, they're talking about how like I'm seeing what she's seeing and she's seeing what I'm seeing type thing, because we're connected, because we both got wormy boys in our head and we're part of the hive mind now at this point.
Head. What is this? Squaw. You are no thrall.
Yeah, she's really well designed, nicely animated and stuff. However, later on you'll see the facial animations, the dialogue animations completely stop. She just stops moving her mouth, which is, I guess, early access, as it says. But like, you got the animations to work for like the first scene and then not the rest of the game. Like, come on. So once we're done with talking to her, we immediately go into combat. And this is where the major bugs or problems with the game start to appear. So the imps very quickly made their turns to do nothing right there. That first round they did nothing. And I managed to finish one of them off. I don't know if they did nothing because they didn't see me, but why would combat have started then? Combat would have only have started if they were aggressive. Or if I was aggressive, and I wasn't. I literally just walked into the area, you know? So now I'm looking at like what I can do. I start to move forwards and take a look around. This is where I thought like there's no tutorial for like camera control or anything like that. Like there's no do this, do that for this and that. So I think I just ended my turn there because I couldn't see this dude. And now that the camera's moved over him to his turn, I know that he's there. And this is where the game fucks up. They literally spend their entire turn doing nothing. And that is every single enemy in the game that I've played in this intro. I don't know if that's the session. Like if I reboot the game, maybe it'll fix it. But that is broken. And they seem to take longer and longer as well. So I get her to shoot the imp. And it's the next imp's turn, and he does nothing, doesn't even move, doesn't shoot anything, doesn't say anything, literally does nothing, and wastes like 30 seconds or so to do nothing. So I decide to move Ragnar up here. So he right now he's sneaking, right? Because I had him hide previous turn, and he's moving and he's not performed like an action to break his hide. Then he gets to make that attack, and then he gets to hide again. And then it's the imp's turn, who's gonna do nothing. It's very disappointing. I was so hyped for this game. I was like, oh, it's gonna be amazing, like, combat's gonna be fucking, like, exciting and everything. No. It is not exciting. It is fucking boring. I don't know, I could have done something else while I was doing this combat, you know? Waiting for them to make their turns. And later, when you get more guys on a battlefield, and none of the AIs are doing anything, yeah, very, very stale. Very quickly. I played this for a total of like 2.5 hours, and it felt like 4, just because of the wait time. And I mean, sure, the music's great, the graphics great, you know, I love the whole vibe, I love the things that you can do and stuff like that. But the combat don't work. Combat is like 50% of D&D. The other 50% is roleplay, and I can't fully make my character. This is where I noticed my character is over encumbered due to the canisters that I picked up. So I'm trying to locate where the inventory system is, and it's up here next to the map. And then I'm looking through, and then I realise, oh yeah, our equipment, right? So you don't get to pick your starting equipment at the character creation screen. You literally just start with like leather armor, longsword, short bow. That's it. I don't know. That's disappointing. By the way, I just drop all these tanks and things here because they're pointless to hold. They weigh like 25 each, and that's way too much. Okay, so I've just skipped a section of the game where you're basically on the outside of the ship, and there's some imps and an intellect devourer and some thralls and stuff. Basically because that took way too long to get through, and it's very stale. Again, combat broken. The thralls, I made the moral decision to just kill them, put them out of their misery. Like anyone that was kind of messed up by the Illithid, I just killed. What you just saw is destructible terrain, so like it's a blockade, but you can break it. And then in this section, we discover another NPC and a situation that is possibly a puzzle that you can complete, but I failed it, I guess. I failed to rescue the NPC, so I don't know if they're alive or dead at this point. And I discovered this reliquary. I ended up breaking the reliquary, which destroys everything in it, apparently. Which is a bit odd, like, I didn't just bash the lock open or anything like that, or just break the container to get everything that's in it. No, you just completely destroy everything inside it, which is illogical. I decided to kill these 2 people that are in these beds, because my logic was, oh, they must be like powering something evil, so I need to kill them to stop powering thing, or like they're being drained, so like I wanna save them, sort of. Okay, so as you can see, Intellect Devourer just came skittering into the room, and I was like, oh crap, like can I start like turn-based mode or something and shoot it? But that didn't work, and it goes into its little sphincter, and then I'm like, oh, is it gone? No, it's literally just doing rounds, basically, right? So I try and shoot it, but trying to shoot something that's moving in this game and you're not in turn-based mode, it's next to impossible. Targeting system does not work great. Eventually, I managed to hit the thing and we get into combat, and then I kill it, and then I realized at the back of this room there's a corpse with a key on it, and that key is for the reliquary. So I save, reload the save to get the key to open it. There's a gem in it. It's nothing special. I thought it was going to be like the solution to freeing the woman. It's not. Also in that room where you find the body with the key, there's a button that if you press it, it turns someone into an illithid, so don't press that button. It's all very like unknown and like mystery type thing. Like it seems like you're like a child rediscovering things, you know, which I like in certain aspects. But then it's like, well, I'd like a little bit more direction in like how to actually play the game. Like I've never played Baldur's Gate before or anything like this, so this is my first time playing a D&D video game. Something confusing and obviously a bug happened when I reloaded the save, and that was that my two party members were split up. My created character was back at the start, back at the initial spawning area, whereas the NPC was where I left her, which is very odd. So I basically had to run all the way back around through the map again to get them back together. This is where I've basically corrected my mistakes and caught up. So I've got the key, I've killed the intellect devourer again, I've not broken the chest, I've got the stuff out of it and not turned the woman into a mind flare, you know. So I save it, and then this is the last section of the intro to the game, where we see this like really cool like sequence. It's a little buggy, and you can tell like the tentacles and things are flailing all over the place. Arrogantly enough, this mind flare believes that we are his thralls and will do whatever we are told to. And this is the worst combat encounter. You've got a level 8 devil, 3 level 1 imps in the way, and then when you've killed those imps and you start moving forward, there's 3 more, and then 2 more devils appear. And I was like, well, I could cheese it and I could literally just smack these dudes in the face like repeatedly for like 6 hours straight and deal some damage, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, the combat here is completely broken. The 2 primary NPCs that are fighting in the combat are facing the opposite way to each other and say a couple lines and then end their turn after waiting for a while. It's very awkward. I don't loot anything because, you know, it's a combat and it's going to take me forever to do it, and there's probably something that I missed, but to be honest, I don't really care at this point. The game is dragging on way too much. This is basically the turn. Like, combat play is just... also another thing, this is the log, the turn log, and it doesn't auto scroll. It doesn't scroll down to the latest information. So you have to, if you want to see what's been happening, you have to scroll all the way down. Like, that needs to be ticking each time something happens, not staying where it is. Yeah, I just get the impression that this is just not finished. Like, well, it's clearly not finished, but it's no way near suitable for release. There's no combat. The NPCs do nothing. Like, what's the point? I might as well just have a cutscene. So you can roll natural 20s and it does critical hits and stuff. Again, but like if you roll minimum damage, you literally do like 2 damage. It's a bit frustrating. I'm gonna skip forwards to the end of this because it's dumb and we're about to see some more dumb stuff. So the objective in this combat was to come over to this console and basically press A on it. Which I could have literally just dashed all the way there and just ignored the imps, but I didn't know if the game was gonna suddenly realise that I was there. And this is where the graphics takes a massive shit. Like, the fire has no depth to it. Everything looks weird, animated weird. Everything's like at a low frame rate. Everything just looks dodgy. So here she's trying to do what they did in the intro cutscene. Alright, as you can see, graphics is no longer a thing. Everything just turns to muddy, ugly, glitchy, just disgustingness. The frame rate completely destroyed. No one here says anything. No one animates like their mouth at all. Like everyone's just looking at each other and grunting. I don't know if that's intentional, but yeah, very glitchy. And the ship comes tumbling down. We didn't have like any other context for like why it's going down really, besides the dragon. Doosh. Ragnar takes a massive hit to the head. It's like, he's gotta be dead, right? Almost as dead as this graphics. But no, there's some kind of magical thing that keeps him from snapping his neck. And now we've loaded into the beach. This is a new area, so I'm gonna wrap up this review thing here. It's difficult for me to recommend the game to anyone right now. It is a buggy piece of shit. It is subpar. You should not have to pay 50 quid to play an early access game. And I mean, the devs don't have to pay game testers to play the game when they can literally just get players to pay full price for the game and then report the bugs for them. You know, they just save money. What I'm getting at is, don't buy it. Don't buy it right now. Wait, it's barely playable. There's just no reason to. Like, I'm gonna play through this because I want to. I want to see if they actually fix it, or like if I play it again, is the combat still gonna be broken? I fucking love Dungeons and Dragons, and I love this story that this game's gonna tell, but mechanically and like graphically, it's got some serious issues. I can't really give it a ranking because it's early access. This is not final build. All I'm gonna say is, wait. Don't buy it. Be patient with it. Wait for Cyberpunk to come out next month and buy that instead. That's not going to be early access. That's going to be a full release. Play that instead. put your 50 quid towards a game that actually works. Hopefully, at least. Like, this game is no way near finished quality. They've got, like, at the very least another year's worth of content to work on. Bug fixes first of all, please, so we can actually play, then add additional content like races and classes and stuff. Like, you don't even have the most bare bones class in the game, which is a barbarian. And then it's stuff like anyone can hide as a bonus action, so then what's the point in playing a rogue? Yeah, I don't know. I feel very mixed about this right now. Like, I'm hyped for it, but then I've also been just kicked in the fucking dick by the devs. Like, there was no, like, nowhere that said, like, oh, if you buy this game, it's an early access thing. Or, like, the release date for the game, October 6th, is an early access release. But, like, I was led to believe that's, like, a full release, and that's why they delayed it. But no. It's early access, and it's shit. Don't buy early access. I do not support this. Do not put your money towards an unfinished game. Do not reward developers for this kind of behavior. It's sick. Like, would you pay full price to go to the cinema and watch a movie that hasn't even been finished editing and hasn't been color graded or anything like that? No, you wouldn't. So why would you pay for an unfinished game? Don't do it. Either way, that's going to be the end of this one, ladies and gents. If you guys want to see more, like, even if it's just let's play material for this game, or you want to see like an updated review or impressions video or whatever, then let me know. I will catch you in the next one. Stay safe and wear a mask.